Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to Dragon Ball Nation. Now today, I have a video that I've been waiting to do for a while, and it is my thoughts on Dragon Ball GT, and I've kind of purposely left my thoughts on the series a little bit ambiguous, although I have mentioned that Super Saiyan 4 is my favorite transformation, but that doesn't really necessarily reveal any thoughts on the series itself. And I kind of decided to do this in honor of my 500 subscribers, me reaching that point. So let's get right into this video. Now I just want to briefly let you guys know this is not to be used as a review at all. If you guys want to see a review, go check out Qaaman's Land's Dragon Ball G review. It's a 3-part review. It's I would say the best Dragon Ball GT review on the internet. There actually aren't that many, but anyways, like I said before, let's get right into this. So I'm gonna go on and start from the beginning of Dragon Ball GT, what I thought of the beginning, because that is what most people consider the weakest point of the whole series. I don't necessarily like the whole Black Star Dragon Ball thing. It's not the concept that's bad, it's just that they came out of nowhere and there really wasn't much of an explanation, that they just kind of always been there, and that was really just some bad writing in my opinion. Now as far as Goku being turned into a kid, there's good and bad with that. A lot of the bad obviously does come with his implied reduced power. It is implied that he's a little bit weaker as a kid. And, we don't get to see enough adult Goku, and he became much more childish. The whole GT series in itself is much more childish than Dragon Ball Z was as a whole. But aside from that, I think it was good in a way that Goku became a kid, because it gave some of that. I got a little bit, not a whole lot, but a little bit of nostalgia from Dragon Ball, and some similarities in that sense. But it was still very different from Dragon Ball, and as well as Z. But many people would say that's what they were trying to capture the feeling was Dragon Ball. They were trying to capture that feeling. Going forward, though, on their journey to collect the Black Star Balls, I don't think most of that was very good at all. Frankly, it was rewatching the series before this video. It was actually quite boring, and it was very surprising because I hadn't seen GT in a while. When I was rewatching, I was bored during a lot of those scenes, and that definitely says a lot. That's pretty lackluster, especially because Dragon Ball, I usually like anything Dragon Ball, but I don't remember GT being quite as boring in that first, parts of the series. Now moving up to Legic, when they first fought Legic, that was an interesting battle. It wasn't half bad at all. It was one of the first, I guess you could call it high points of the series, but it could have been handled a little bit better. It was pretty much a one-sided fight between Super Saiyan Goku and Legic. But moving forward from there, and I believe Zunama came up after with his, earthquake, quote-unquote earthquake abilities. He could predict the earthquakes. It was definitely a childish part of the whole series, but I thought it was very interesting, and it was a decent character, to be quite honest. Then moving forward, we had, to the next big fight of the series was General Rildo. I'm not going to cover everything here, guys. I'm just going to cover some notable points in this series. General Rildo was one of the a very fantastic fight in my opinion between Goku and him, because it was pretty. It wasn't necessarily a one-sided fight, and Rildo had very interesting powers. Now moving on from that, we had the whole concept of Baby and all that. There was a lot of build up to Baby's character, and I thought Baby was actually one of the better villains in all of the Dragon Ball series, all three series that we had. Even though he wasn't on my top 5 list, but he was close to it. But Baby was an interesting character. I didn't I didn't care for the voice acting that was done for him. I thought there could have been a better one, but it wasn't terrible, but I didn't exactly like it too much. But the concept of Baby, his abilities and all that, and many of the fight scenes were fantastic, I thought. It was a little bit weird when Goku reverted back, the whole scene where he, turns back into a base form after using his Super Saiyan 3 abilities. That was a little bit interesting. But then we, get introduced to Super Saiyan 4, which I have said is my favorite transformation in the entire series. Super Saiyan 4 was really the big thing in GT, and, proceeded to enhance all the fights from then on. And as soon as, Baby came around and, his character, that's when the series went from being, frankly, bad, in my opinion, to pretty interesting and a little fun to watch. After Baby, we saw Super 17, which I thought, like the Baby saga, I actually enjoyed quite a bit. But then when Super 17 came around, I never cared for Super 17's character. I thought the concept of him was very strange. I know there's a lot of fans of him out there, but I found the concept to be a bit strange. I thought he was kind of just a strange villain that I never really cared for too much. But, you know, the whole way he really was overpowered in a way, because Goku fought him in a way that Goku shouldn't fight him. He fought him very stupidly, and, you know, he gave him energy, even though he should have known that it would have, you know, he would have enhanced his powers if he had shot that Kamehameha wave at him. And the way that 17 kind of, you know, went out and died was a little bit silly as well. Kind of just letting it happen was a bit strange. There's a lot of points in GT that we can all agree have pretty bad writing. Moving past that, though, this might not be that long of a video, guys, but I just want to get my thoughts out there. Anyways, moving past that, we have the, you know, Shadow Dragon arc, and this was definitely this was the high points of the series. It was on par. The first parts of the Shadow Dragons were on par with the baby arc, in my opinion. The first few were a little bit weird. I did like Hei's Shenron with his whole, you know, pond or lake that weakened the warriors. I mean, it was a little bit silly, but I love the concept. Most of the Shadow Dragons, I love the concepts of. One of the highlights is obviously Nova and Ice Shenron as well. And, of course, we all know Sin and Omega Shenron. Those last few episodes of Dragon Ball GT, guys, I know a lot of you might hate me for this. I know a couple guys in particular might find this upsetting, but I really enjoyed those last 10 or so episodes of Dragon Ball GT. I really was a big fan of those, to be quite honest. They had some of my favorite characters. I love Omega Shenron as a character, as a villain. He's just an absolute, you know, tank, really. But, you know, moving on from that, we did have Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, which is, in my opinion, the strongest character we've ever seen in the entire series, Battle of Gods included. And we saw the Big Bang Kamehameha used against Omega Shenron, which was amazing. And the whole fight there was just, even though it was one-sided, it was a really fun fight to watch. It was in my top 10 Dragon Ball Z fights, I believe. But aside from that, moving on to the, you know, conclusion when the Universal Spirit Bomb is used and we see Omega Shenron get completely obliterated, which was an insanely epic scene. Although, you know, there were obviously some problems with characters really just jumping into the fray. But it was cool at the same time. But I had some problems with the characters jumping in and being distractions. It was interesting, but you know, it could have been done a little bit better. But like I said, it wasn't a really nice touch, but it just could have been executed more, if you understand. Because they were just tossed aside. There wasn't enough shown of those scenes, is what I'm trying to say. But moving on from that, we have the ending, where Goku does ride off with Shenron, and it's not really explained exactly what happens, but I thought that ending was actually pretty fantastic. It's definitely better than what we had in Dragon Ball Z. Although the ending did get a little bit muddied up with the whole, I believe it was 100-year time skip to, you know, Goku and Vegeta Jr. I thought that could have been executed better. But those really are my thoughts on the series. I just wanted to quickly touch upon a couple other things that did bother me. The whole part where they did go looking for those Dragon Balls on the other planets, I did wish they had a better, you know, that Goten actually had gone with them instead of just Trunks and Pan. I don't have a problem with Pan. I don't think she's a bad character. I think a lot of people give her a little bit more hate than she deserves, to be honest. I thought she was an alright character. I did wish Goten went in it. I wish we saw a lot more of Vegeta in GT. That would have been nice, because, you know, Vegeta is definitely a fan favorite, and he's one of my top characters in the series. And one more thing that I should probably mention, Goku getting cut by glass, and the whole part where Trunks got injured in a car accident. Those are definitely two pretty stupid scenes, in my opinion. Actually, I'm pretty sure everyone's opinion, those are pretty stupid, but I just wanted to, you know, throw those out there. So guys, that has been my little synopsis of what I think of GT. I know it wasn't too in-depth, but like I said, it's not really a review. I'm not really good at doing reviews, guys. If you guys want a review, definitely check out Qaaman's video, which I link in the description below. It's definitely the best review, in my opinion, on the you know, on YouTube. So, like I said, guys, that's been it. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed it, you know, like the video, subscribe, all that, you know, all that shit. But Yep, that has been it, guys, and I'll catch you later.